for us not to perceive ethics as unique, it means that we're not focusing on it that much, or that it's not that important. And this is exactly what's alarming, because how come ethics is not important when ethics is basically the basic of life? Ethics is how we conduct ourselves, is how I deal with you, how you deal with me, I'm gonna push it just a bit further and tell you not to take anything with you to anything else. And it's not only not to take your work problems to your business, to your home, and home problems to your business, but everything. So basically, now you're sitting here enjoying this amazing presentation, okay? And then you have a game of tennis. So you have to disconnect from this presentation and go focus fully on your game of tennis to make the best out of it. And then you have dinner with your parents, so you have to disconnect from the game of tennis, focus fully on the family time that you have to make the best out of it. And then you have coffee with your friends, you have to do the same. Disconnect from your family time and focus fully on your time with your friends. So basically, if we think about it, it's really going back to basics. And it's just live the moment. It's the art of enjoying the moment, of living the moment. And this is it. And this is where this came from, of don't take that to this. But we have you ever heard someone telling you disconnect from your game of tennis? Have you ever heard someone telling you that? Very rarely, right? It's mainly for these two big categories in our life that are business and personal. And of course, business is an important part because one, we spend most of our time in it. Two, we spend time with people we don't necessarily want to spend time with. And three, because it's our bread and butter. But again, our life is not only business and personal. Our life is business, family, friends, I don't know, activities, my time, community service, everything. Everything is my life. And when I categorize my life for only 2 sections, it means that I'm forgetting the others, or I'm not focusing on them, I'm not enjoying them. So let's not forget the others, let's not simplify it, and let's break our life into so many categories. The second one, in me and business and me and personal, is basically, I'm sure you've heard of the business personality, right? Now, you have these hundreds of books and articles and blogs and vlogs and what have you that tell you how to be a good manager and how to be a good leader, how to be a good salesman, how to. Do you agree with them? Actually, they're correct. They're correct. It's not that. Okay, let's take an example, okay? So basically, if you're a manager and you work with a team, okay, and your team is not cooperating well with you. So you decide, because you're a good manager, you decide first to do an introspection to see if you're doing something wrong, okay? And you do it, you realize that you're not motivating your employees enough, or your team. So you decide to motivate them. For you to motivate them, you have to first of all have faith in them. You have to have faith that they're going to do their job. You have to trust them. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt, okay? Second, you have to accept them. You have to accept their faulty personality. You have to accept their errors in the workplace. You have to accept their different opinion. You have to accept them. Third one is you have to love them because you want to give them a constructive criticism. You want to give them, you want to give them support. You want to help them progress basically in their work, I mean. So basically you have trust, you have acceptance, and you have love. And the 3 of them are not business values. They're human values, the 3 of them. So there's nothing called business personality. It's only a personality. It's one personality. It's a human personality. And when these values, we acquire them and we embed them in our personality, they become ours. So we don't only motivate our team, but we motivate everyone around us because we acquire them as part of our personality. So at the end of the day, business or personal is exactly the same, because we're just one person. And we're one person with one personality. This is not working. Okay, we're just one person with one personality. We live in the world, and the world has many aspects. Our life has many aspects, not only business and personal. And when we're able to see this, and when we're able to realize this, we're also able to detach basically from our work. To detach, not to be careless. To detach from our work, to have a certain clarity. A clarity of what makes us full as a human being, what makes us whole as a human being. We will realize that whatever we aspire for in life, in business, I mean, is what we aspire for, dot. It's what we aspire for ourselves. It's exactly the same. And when we replace the business, by ourselves in whatever we do, then we'll be able to have a much deeper and much truer meaning and form to everything we do. And this will affect our life in all aspects of our life, even in business. So it's really keeping this balance, but this balance anyways, if we keep it in our life, we're going to be able to keep it in business. We think that it's only there, but if you go to the roots, this is it. If you go to the roots and to the biggest picture, bigger picture of yourself and your personality, you find that if you work on yourself anyways, everything else will fall in place. Most of them are correct, actually. And the problem is not in their validity, but the problem is in their presentation. The feeling when you read that deceive or outmaneuver, when you read seek revenge, the wolves in lamb's clothing, choose your victims, okay? Offend or deceive the other person, the wrong person. Actually, it's never offend or deceive the wrong person. So basically, you can offend and deceive the right person. So this is it. No one could depict from you guys this negativity. There's a negative connotation. Now you're talking about the mind gaming. This is exactly it. This is exactly it. Mind controlling. It's this negativity. So yes, at the end of the day, we live in a world where we have to sometimes use these techniques, but I just want to ask you for something. Just whatever you read, whatever you listen to, whatever you see, whatever it is, just depict them. Just spot the negativity, spot the negative words, the harmful words, spot them, because this is what you're feeding your mind. And we all know that thoughts are going to be translated into actions. So if you feed your mind with negativity, this is how you're going to be behaving with other people, and this is how you're going to be with other people. So just spot them, spot the negativity. That's it. And then turn them into your mind into something more positive. So when you act on it, you act on a more positive note with other people. Networking is selfish. Even if both parties agrees to have a selfish networking, then it's not sustainable. One party will sell the other for a dirham, maybe more. It's not sustainable. And sustainability is a word that we use a lot in environment. Environment is sustainable environment, sustainable energy, and we very rarely use it in our community. It's a sustainable community. And what does it mean? Sustainable community is to be able to live well together, is to be able to do good to each other. This is it. And it's the only way, not unfortunately, we live in a community whether we like it or not. So it's the only way to be able to sustain it. The only way to be able to sustain it is basically for us to be good together. So networking, go back to basics, it's only relationships. Human to human relationships. At the end of the day, I'm not telling you not to be smart and not to strategize. I'm just telling you to strategize humanely. To strategize humanely and to think of what you're giving the other person in front of you. Benchmark everything against sustainability. Have a benchmark in your life. So whatever thought or action or word or anything you do, if you can benchmark them against sustainability and goodness, it will be basically your compass of what you're doing and your responsibility towards others. The person sitting next to you is also fed up of the same thing. So imagine that. We're all fed up of the same thing. So for us to fix it, we have to fix our relationship first together. And each take a responsibility. There's a spur of these energy healing, yoga, meditation, and all these activities. And the government have these beautiful initiatives of the happiness, Ministry of Happiness. They have the Year of Giving, which was 2017. So everyone feels a bit agitated from this world because of this, because of what you're saying. So if we don't want to feel agitated anymore, so why not do something about it? We have to do something. It's a responsibility. We live in a community. We cannot get out of it. But if you want to be happy in this community, then do something good for it. On a personal level. On a personal level, yani, I don't have to get angry on the car that hits me. I can be nice. Try, at least. I don't have to be selfish in my relationship. Because I will get, and trust me, and now we're going to talk about this later, that trust me, that even if you're ethical, you can get to whatever you want in the business world.
You have to be diplomatic.
diplomatic, and smart. You have to have something, right? You have to have something special. No need for unethical to have something special. You can have something special anyways.
Yeah, money.
No, special. Special. Money,
Remember
that you are what you have forgotten. We have forgotten to be ourselves. We have forgotten that we're the essence. We are the essence. We are the core. We are what makes or breaks the society. We are one person with one personality in all aspects of our life. We can grow and we can build on whatever we have. We and the relationships we have with others is the essence. And never ever forget that we are behind this business and behind this world anyway. Now, I'm going to leave you with one untwisted strategy, which is what I call the positively conditioned objective. Basically, it's adding a positive conditioning to each objective. So we all have objectives, right? Let's say I want to be the best cook ever in the world. But I want to add to it a positive conditioning, like without harming anyone. So I want to be the best cook without harming anyone. We'll actually push it, because without harming anyone will neutralize it. So it will not do good and it will not do bad. So we're going to push it a bit further and make it positive. Like, I want to be the best cook ever in the world by giving as much support as I can to someone else. To all other people I can. So the objective is for me. The positive conditioning is for the community that I'm responsible for. And basically, I'm not talking about the big objectives of our life. I'm also talking, everything in life actually has an objective. If I want to have a coffee with my friend, I have an objective. I either want to vent out, I want to discuss some subjects. 1 second, I will do it. Okay, I will, sorry for the interruption. So basically, everything has an objective, okay? Everything. A coffee with a friend would have an objective of venting out, or of discussing a subject, or anything it is. It has an objective. And when we know our objective, we'll be able to eliminate everything unnecessary along the way. So even for these small objectives, have a positive conditioning to it. And the ultimate objective of it all, for each one of us, is to be happy. This is the ultimate objective of anyone in this world. And the ultimate positive conditioning is to be loving to others. And you can go down to all small objectives you have and apply this positive condition. And today I came with you with an objective, of course. I came with you to share my opinion that we're pushing business life a bit too far, and that we're acting with so-called reasonable, unethical actions just under the umbrella of business. And I came with a belief that we are the essence, and we're everything behind this life, and we can turn it. And for us to change the unethical world that a lot just have nodded at the very beginning when I asked the question, it has to change from a personal level, from an individual level, with a lot of work, a lot of persistence, and a lot of consistency. But we can do it and take responsibility. And my positive conditioning is to tell you this with a lot of love and acceptance of different opinions. And thank you very much. It's a positive. it's a nice one. It's a positive thing. Yes, it is a positive thing.
I know it's not allowed and everything, but if you give it to the poverty, الصلاة والأعمال الخيرية, so I guess it's a positive thing.
So basically, I can kill you. Okay.
Yes.
I can kill you. Take your money and give it to the poor,
yeah,
right? And then what? And it will be something good. Like when people tell you that you shouldn't be that nice. We were talking about this last time. We shouldn't be that nice, okay? And we shouldn't forgive all the time if we always get backstabbed, okay? The problem is not in forgiving. The problem is in not depicting who to trust and who not to trust, or not depicting basically the actions of how we can do things better, basically together, without being hurt. This is the problem. So, back to your question, I'm going to ask you, if I kill you and give your money to the poor, is it something good?
Yes.
It's something good?
Yes. At least, even
I rest my
I'm a
case.
big
then.
believer.
If we live here in this world, then we have to understand this world, and we have to understand what's coming in this world, what's happening and everything around us. Because it's not only about me and now living in a happy life, it's about everyone else around me. It's about the next generations and whoever is coming to this world. Because it's not my world, it's the world of everyone. So I have this big, big belief. So if I live here, I need to understand it and I need to have a good impact on it. Otherwise, I see no point of being here. And it's not, and I believe that it's not that before we were ethical and now we're not ethical. No, it's really not that. And each generation and each time has its goods and bads. And now we have a lot of goods. Yani, now there's a lot of freedom, a lot of acceptance of whatever it is, of other races, other genders, everything. The thing is, now it's more, yani, before it was bigger. Now it's even on a, hey, I feel that it's embedded in us. For example, there's a study that was made to know if, that shows actually that violence decreased throughout the years, okay? So you'd say, amazing, so violence is much less, so we're more loving to each other. But in reality, it's that violence did decrease because there was much more security, much more rules and regulations around it, okay? And it was, we're perfecting basically the regulations, but in reality what's happening is we have more anger inside. So you cannot trust me more than before. I would lie more than before. I would be angry at you. I would be jealous at you more than before. So we're embedding them into our own character. This is what's happening. So even if violence, at the end of the day, even if violence is not as much as before, so even if I don't kill as much as before, I still am angry at you. And I have this grudge basically inside of me more than before. I personally, but yes, think that the very, very first step is just, first of all, to detach yourself from your work. And then you can do sports, you can do any other activity, you can vent out to friends, you can do all this. But first of all, just understand that work is not you. Work is just work, and I am full anyways. I'm alone anyways. I'm good anyways. And even if I have problems from work, it will not affect me as much if I'm detached from my work. That's the first umbrella. You can do whatever you want. And for example, okay, you can go kill human beings and feel good, right? Yes. You can do that. It's not that we cannot. We are capable. Human beings, we're capable of that. It's just that use your mind, okay? Because there's a very simple equation. If we're all bad, okay, to each other, at the end of the day, we're going to create the biggest massacre ever in life, right? And if we all hate each other, if we're all bad, it's going to get into a big war zone, and that's it. Right? Do you want to be in a war zone? Do you want to be afraid that you're going to be dying? Do you want to be this? No. No one does, right? So what's the alternative? Just let's create a better environment. That's it. So you use your mind into this simple logic, يعني. It's nothing. It's a very, very simple logic. Do I want to get? Because everything evolves in life and nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Everything evolves, and this is what you were talking about at the very beginning. Everything evolves, and if we're evolving into more unethical, into a more unethical world, at the end of the day, we're going to get to a point where everyone hates everyone else, okay? Or everyone, it's going to be a war zone. Do we want this? No. Then okay, let's do something else. Let's try it, and let's try to keep this balance at least between good and bad. So use your mind. Yes, you want to go stab other people so you'd feel good. You can. Is it something good? Even in business, you have a long-term objective, right? But the problem is that we think of our long-term objective in our lifetime only. We don't think about it as a collective living in this planet all together. We don't think that there are other people that we're going to hurt along the way that are going to be born in 50, 60, 100 years. It's a responsibility. It's a collective responsibility, really. So when you use your mind, don't use it to go backstab someone. Use it for something good. Just for the simple logic that this is the only way to keep life going. Thank you. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
And thank you for this opportunity and for being here for the second time. It was really a pleasure, and I hope you enjoyed it.